Good evening, gospel revolutionaries around the whole world. This is Michael Lilborn Williams coming to you live from the bonus room right here at the Queen City here in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's warm. Weather report done. Let's get right into the gospel. We are coming to you with this fourth season of the cross. What a wonderful study we've gone into and been able to see. Imagery is everything in trying to tell a story. And if imagery is right, the story will be right. If you get the imagery wrong, you can misinterpret many things. The wonderful thing about the gospel is so many things on this planet are all just simply reflections of the truth of the gospel. As we're coming to you with this fourth season, of course, we went through season one, and that was all of eternity before God said, "Let there be light." We are given insight by Jesus himself and by Paul especially, and also by Apollos, the writer of Hebrews, about this eternal counsels of God. That's what Don Bartlett called it. He'd be really happy about this. 4 seasons of the cross. But the power of seeing that was all established and the way God wanted it laid out, the way it had to be, there's so much yet to learn, and we are wanting to learn. We're not going to put ourselves in a little bitty box and try to prove a little bitty point and try to get you to believe a little bitty or a great big lie. We are in pursuit of the truth. Now that means we change our minds. I'm trying to look for somebody who's changing their mind out there about where they are, and I'm not seeing it. So beware. If you have settled all of your accounts and you think you know the truth, man, I tell you what, if it settles into the area of a belief, beliefs are of a part of a world and a season that is gone. The season of belief is gone. The season of faith is gone. The season of law is gone. The season of prophecy is gone. It's all fulfilled. It's all done. And it all took place in the third season of the cross. But I have some good news for you. Now, hear me very clearly. This is the best news you're ever going to hear. God will never show you mercy. That's good news. It is if you understand the gospel, because you'll know that the mercy that we needed was shown at the cross. There are people that despise the mercy of God. They say no mercy was needed, but we know mercy was needed. But you see, there's two sides of this thing that's gone crazy. They don't look at the scriptures. Number one, they don't believe the scriptures. They don't accept the scriptures or the teachings of Paul. But the power of seeing that the mercy that we needed was shown at the cross, and here we have mysticism and Christianity, two stinky ends of one bad stick, trying to get you engaged in God's mercy for you today, living in hope, living in faith, and all of these things. But the fact of it is, you've never had any of those, and you know it deep in your heart. You've never had an ounce of faith, and you know it. And that's good news. Because guess what? It's the truth. But hear me. No matter the suffering, no matter the debt, no matter the threat, God will show you no mercy. No matter the suffering, no matter the debt, no matter the threat, God will show you no mercy. And that's the way your life has been. You say, but Mike, I've had so many things turn around. Me too. Atheist, dogs, cats have been in very strange predicaments and have come out of them. If you watch the videos on TV, I mean, cats have 9 lives. Is that the mercy of God? I don't mean to be so flippant about something so important, but you almost have to be able to laugh about what is absurd that people have bought into around the world. Catholicism, my God, if you ever go into the history of this, and then the advent of the Reformation, and my family was in the middle of all of that. And man, I tell you, they were on 2 bad sides of a dirty stick for all of those years, all the way up until I went through the Word of Faith movement, and it was still just another dirty end of a bad stick. Folks, it's time to give up both dirty ends of the stick. In fact, let's just give up the stick altogether. It's not needed. Now that's good news. Hear me again. No matter the suffering, no matter the debt, no matter the threat, the good news is that God will show you no mercy. If he was showing you mercy, you wouldn't be going to the doctor. You wouldn't be taking medication. You wouldn't be trying everything. Well, you know, God works with the doctors. Really? Did God work with the doctors at the cross? Did he work with the lawyers at the cross? Did he work with, your financial advisor at the cross? What we need, we have. What we need, we have. Now, why is it good news? Why, Mike? What has happened to you, Michael Williams, that makes you say this with such confidence that no matter the suffering, no matter the debt, no matter the threat, God will show you no mercy? Why is that good news? Because it's the truth. Now you can be reasonable and rational about how you plan out your health care plan, about how you plan out your savings, your life savings, how you're going to do that, how you're going to manage a household, how you're going to raise your children, hopefully not under any of these cruel doctrines that I have mentioned, because they're going to cause you to beat your kids. Or they're going to cause you not to discipline at all, one of the two. There is a good, happy place in there. You don't have to beat your kids, and you don't have to let them do whatever they want to prove that you love them either. The good news of the gospel is what the 3rd season was. That's the good news. All of the good news of the gospel is about the 3rd season. The good news of the gospel is not what we share about the gospel is what happened 2,000 years ago. I can't come on here and say, I'm sharing the gospel with you. There's healing. I'm sharing the gospel with you. God will pay your bills as long as you keep them tithes and offerings coming. How long are you going to be deceived? How long are you going to be willingly ignorant? I was willingly ignorant. I knew all the time I was doing it that something was wrong. I saw the greed. I saw the things that was happening right under my nose with all of the ministries that I was tied to. Oh my gosh. But the 3rd season of the cross has been wrapped up. The prophecy was fulfilled. The law was fulfilled. The faith that it took to bring men and women and children into righteousness. The power it took to fuse the human race and God together. The power to fuse heaven and earth together as one place, along with its one entity. The power that the mercy that it required for God to demonstrate lavishly and demonstrated lavishly his love and his grace toward us and his mercy in the 3rd season of the cross. You're either going to accept this truth or you're going to be a liar. I know you guys. I know you guys. I know my family. I know what you go through. I know what you've gone through. I know you get just as afraid when your heart beats wrong. And and you're afraid you're going to die. You're afraid you're going to, I know. And then you say, well, call the prayer chain. Well, then why not trust the prayer chain? Why run? Why call the doctor? Why call the ambulance? You see, all that's doing is creating a whole world of total non-truth, instability for the mind. It's called stress. It's called all of these things. But you see, in the power of the gospel, you're designed to handle change. You don't have to go through stress. Change doesn't have to produce stress in your mortal being. The gospel will cause you to handle change. Things change all the time. That's as they say. I'm always very cautious when I hear people say, hey, they say. But it is true. You can be guaranteed that things aren't going to stay the way they are. They're going to change. But the gospel gives you the information of the gospel, creates a whole new mindset for you to be able to deal with change. Otherwise, you're going to get just as, oh God, we got the bad news today. Why do you do that if you believe in faith? Why do you do that if you think God answers prayer? Why do you do that? Why do you freak out? Why do you get on these videos and tell people, oh, our son has COVID. Everybody pray. And you see the concern and the worry on your faces. Folks, I'm not here to chastise you. I'm here to chastise these damn doctrines that have us so tied up in the second season. There's no way to get tied up in the first season in the planning of this, but people are tied up in the second season. They're tied up in the middle of the third season of the cross. You are in the fourth season of the cross. And all of these things have come to pass. It's now time for a stable life. It's now time for stable emotions mentally and stability from the inside so that you know what to do when all the other crap hits the fan. Because, well, I'm going to pray first, Mike. Well, you go right ahead. You know, they can find you dead right on your knees just like anybody else. If the things going on in this world doesn't show you that God's showing no mercy to nobody. Well, but Mike, there's somebody got away down there in Texas. They got away. So God showed no mercy to the others? You see, your doctrine's cruel by telling people that God is showing some mercy and not others. Oh, but Mike, it says in Romans he does that. That's not what he's talking about. He was talking about the second season of the cross. When there was the division between those who he showed mercy and those he didn't. That season has passed. The third season of the cross eliminated all of that. The fourth season of the cross is this. It is the renewing of the mind and the saving of the soul. The fourth season of the cross is the renewing of the mind and the saving of the soul. Religion lies to you. And it lies to you with every breath that it takes. Every time it tells you that God's going to take care of this and God's going to take care of that. And God's going to, God will, because let me tell you something. I am 71 years old, and I can tell you I used to live in a fantasy. I used to get up and tell people what all God did for me. And now I know and have known for the last 20 years it was all a lie. But I now know Christ better than I've ever known him before. And I didn't say that I believe in him. I don't believe in Jesus. I know Jesus. Paul said that he knew Christ, and he said he was willing to sacrifice everything of his religious world to know Christ and the power of his resurrection. That's what I want to know. Is that what you want to know? Once you give up all of this superficial, external spirituality, you can know peace. Peace that produces happiness, not trying to be happy with your circumstances so you can have peace. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon thee.